When I failed to clear my 6-year-old dream of getting into an IIT, I decided to take an year drop. One full year of sacrifice only to end up with 96 percentile, which was even worse than my first attempt. But here's the thing, I still made it to IIT Hyderabad. And today, I'm going to share my entire journey, the struggles, the strategies, the lessons, and the exact resources that helped me crack it. So hey, if you're new here, my name is Chandan and I make content about student life and my journey. So if you enjoy watching that, consider subscribing. And now, let's get into this. So long story short, IIT was my dream since childhood and I'd been preparing for more than 6 years, sacrificing many of my childhood moments. So for a little context, recalling about my first JEE Mains attempt, it was on 29th Jan 2023, shift 1. And I think I scored about 119 marks with 64 in math, 20 in physics and 35 in chemistry. The overall percentile was somewhere around 96.3, which was not something I was expecting. But if I look at it again, my physics and chemistry marks combined is less than the math, which means math was just taking the heavy part. But for the second attempt, it was on 11th April, shift 2, and I couldn't show much improvement. With a barely 20 to 30 marks improved, I scored around 97.3 percentile. I always felt I was better at advanced than mains, and I was genuinely hoping the better for it. And when the time came, that day wasn't just mine. I still remember the exam hall, the feeling, the pressure that I felt on that day. And coming out of my hall, I just went to my dad and then said, maybe I'm going to take another attempt. At that time, he was trying to keep me positive and then was like, maybe let's wait for the results. It's going to be good. It's fine. But I genuinely felt it's not going to turn out well. After a long discussion with my parents and my teacher, I took the drop. And honestly, it was one of the biggest turning points in my life. Not just because it eventually got me into an IIT, but because of how it completely transformed me as a person. And talking about my preparation, I've prepared completely on my own, no coaching, no institutes, and it was just me and the resources that I always trusted, along with one big decision that I have to make it no matter what. Think about it. All my friends starting their new college life, entering into a new phase, while I was sitting in my room alone, studying the same old syllabus with no guarantee whether it would work out this time. That takes something. And if you're someone currently in that phase, I've been there exactly where you are, and it's going to be completely fine. Now let's talk about what I actually changed, because taking drop means nothing if you're going to repeat the same mistakes again. So instead of rushing with that adrenaline, hey, that I'm going to do this no matter what, that I'm targeting this much percentile or marks, I just spent days analyzing what went wrong, where I need to work, or which subject, what is the strategy. So this entire phase, maybe it's like a couple of weeks, I've spent only analyzing my previous mocks. That took me a lot of time, but that gave me a clarity on where do I need to focus in this entire drop year. And looking at my marks, which I already said, the answer was pretty obvious. Maths, which is considered to be the toughest part, was something I was much familiar or convenient with. And the most scoring subjects, physics and chemistry, were my weakest spots. So I started to focus on them. And again, I'm going to talk about those stats, but this strategy has really been a very game-changing thing for me in this preparation. Now the next lesson is the hardest one. Math was my identity. I loved it. Scoring the maximum out of it, like maybe 80 or 90, is genuinely something I always wanted. But I was very late to realize, nobody says like, hey, Chandan's a maths genius, he scored 80 or 90 if I cannot clear my overall score. If I ended up again with the same score, scoring like 20 or 30 in physics and chemistry, my total will never go up. And that was something I tried to adjust myself with, even at the cost of losing marks in math. In the next year, April 2024, I did drop my score in math. But for the improvement that I made in chemistry, and I think it was almost doubling it from 30 or 35 to 70 plus marks, that's a real progress. And the total was about 172 or something, and I got my best ever mains percentile, which was 97.94, just because I let go of my ego and started to focus on what exactly is required at that particular point of time. Now let's talk about advanced specifically, because this is where most people get it wrong completely. It's not about maximizing your score, and it's never about making 360 out of 360. It's more about understanding what your potential is, where you can improve, and more importantly, what not to study. Yes, it's more about rejection of the topics. Simple example, fluid mechanics, which is considered to be one of the toughest topics for JEE Advanced. And for a normal student who wants to aim at, let's say, 30 to 60 marks in physics out of 120, you don't need to focus on it at all. Because if you look at the past 4 to 5 years, 3 to 4 questions which were there in the previous years, they were very ambiguous and were given a bonus mark for everyone. Which means if you're going to spend time in the chapter preparing for it, you don't have a guarantee whether it would turn out well, and even if it does, it's gonna cost you a lot of time. So why would I waste my time focusing on a chapter where even the toppers are facing difficulty in? So it's easier to focus on short topics like error analysis, units and dimensions, and basic mechanics rather than focusing on the biggest chapters. You have to learn what you need to reject, and that is a very, very important strategy for advanced. Comment down below if you need specific chapters that are highly weighted and what are the chapters that you need to skip. I'll try to bring up some content on that, so feel free to let me know. The next one is small, but it completely changed my game. I used to start solving JEE Advanced papers with math because it was my favorite and ego again. But anyway, that costed me a lot of time which I would rather invest in physics and chemistry, and that would give me a better output for the total score. When I start with math, I used to stick along with it thinking that I need to solve every single question because I like it, I know it, but the question is that that's not going to help to my overall score. It's easier to score in physics and chemistry even for advanced. So when I tried up other variations switching between all these three, I genuinely felt, and this is something more reliable to many students, starting with chemistry and then physics and math genuinely helped me a lot because scoring those initial points in that initial 30 or 40 minutes gives students a lot of confidence. And chemistry is typically said to be that easiest subject, and it genuinely worked out for me. But hey, this is just my case and I just wanted to express my story. Maybe another combination would work out for you, so feel free to try the best fit for you and adjust your strategy accordingly. And I know a lot of you might be doing this right now. Let's take a mock after this chapter, or maybe another chapter, and no, another chapter. And trust me, that chapter never ends. You'll never feel you're prepared, and that is the whole point. And I genuinely feel many students completely take this wrong about mock tests. It's never about checking your scores. It's about understanding where you actually stand and what you can improve. The more frequently you take them, the better you understand your actual level, so that you can focus on the mistakes and to avoid them in your future tests. And that's the whole point of taking a mock, and never about judging yourself that, hey, that I'm going to score this, that's too low, and feeling underconfident. It's not about marks. Please remove that from your mind and start focusing on the areas that you need to improve. Just start giving them and analyze your mistakes, improve, and just repeat. Not the mistakes, but this entire process. And now, if you want to access my resources, the handwritten notes, chapter lists, strategies, and everything, check out the website that I attached in the description. That's a platform I built for students exactly like you, and you can access all of them completely for free. So yeah, check it out. And here's the part that completely broke me. After all this preparation, sacrifices, and everything, it was finally time for my first attempt in this drop year. 24 Jan Shift 1, 2024. I genuinely felt this is going to be my day. But turns out, this is one of the most toughest exams in the history of JEE Mains. Can you take a guess on what was the 99 percentile benchmark for this test? Yup, that's freaking 230 marks, which typically used to be around 180 to 190. This has never happened before. And me scoring 183 marks ended up with a percentile of 95.99. Honestly, I was completely lost. I took a drop year, worked harder than ever before in my life, sacrificed my friendships, every single thing that I can imagine. And even after scoring my highest ever score in JEE Mains, I got my worst ever percentile. That's 95.99. And honestly, I couldn't talk about anything at all. I couldn't even think. And I just started questioning myself. Is the drop year even worth it? Am I even capable of doing this? What is going wrong with me? I couldn't figure out anything at all. But hey, if you are someone with a similar phase where you sit around and think that your results are not showing your efforts, it's fine. It's completely going to be fine. And I want you to hear what I'm going to say. There is nothing in life that you can lose unless it's in your mind. Because if I would have given up at that point of time, I wouldn't have given second mains nor my advanced and never even proceed further. But I didn't. I felt I can do it. I trusted my process, not being too attached with the results. Because it's not my end result, right? I took my drop focusing on advanced, and mains was a process in that. And though I may not do better, I felt I can do it, and I wanted it. So I started to move forward. And in my second mains attempt, which was on 9th April shift 2, I scored 172 marks and got my highest ever mains percentile, 97.94. And again, it's not 98 or 99, which is typically the expected one to perform well in JEE Advanced. I didn't do it. And you know what? I never even exaggerated on that. I just made peace with it because I know that's not my fight with. I'm gonna target advanced, and that is where I really need to aim and maximize my score. It's not like giving up. It's trying to understand according to the situation and adjust yourself. May 2024, JEE Advanced. And I'm not gonna lie and say, hey, I crushed it. It wasn't my day and I couldn't do the way as I expected. But the strategy worked. The months of preparation, subject prioritization, and every single effort that I put in all added up, and I drastically improved my score of my advanced from the previous attempt. And when the results came, it was a bit of disappointment because of what IIT Madras has done with the paper. That's a completely different story, but I know I made it. And the result, I'm here at IIT Hyderabad. That was one of the most happiest moments of my life and no words for it. 6 years of preparation, 1 year of drop, 4 attempts of JEE Mains, where I never even crossed 98, but I still made it. And that's something I'm always proud of in this journey. The process, the things I learned, every single thing. Because when I look back at this entire phase of my life, there are things that go way beyond JEE. Understanding what that moment requires is something I genuinely learned. And consistency and discipline always beats the talent. Never ever give up in life, and even if there is 1% chance, always fight for it. Because you cannot do anything else about the results. It's not in your hands, but the efforts are. And it just depends on how much you put in. And one of the biggest lessons is the difference between the people who achieve things and who dream things is not just simply a thought, it's the effort. People who work hard and give their ultimate thing for it will see the result at the end. And with that said, if this video really helped you, give it a like and comment down below your thoughts or any of the resources that you need for it. I read every single one of the comments, and also check out the website that I linked. I genuinely feel it's going to help you a lot in your preparation. And also, I almost forgot to mention, during this phase of my life, I got to work with one of the edtech companies where I used to study from, and I got an opportunity to become a teacher. So check out this video where I talked completely about it, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you there.
On the pavement,
bye.
Feeling kinda lazy, got this easy vibe, the world is moving hazy, nothing heavy on my mind, just coasting, and I'm happy, oh so happy, feeling good is easy when you're easy, yeah I'm happy.